So one thing I noticed during the print, I'm printing this right now, there is a high chance of a failure point right about in this location. Right here, you can see around this area. This is where the ball for this arm and the ball for this arm is going to be printed. So in this position, in this location, the arms are separated. They're standing alone here on the print surface. So the ball will need to be printed here in this location and then connect to the arm. Same over here. The ball here needs to be printed and then it will connect with the arm. If this little support right here, this is essentially going to be a tiny little support. If that fails right here, if that little notch fails, which is a high possibility, it will be inside the model. I mean, right at this point, it's visible. So if that little spot right there does not appear, does not start to print well, then from then on up, everything that stacks on top of it, as you see from here, will not stick, will not work. So my suggestion is to go in and make this little port right here bigger, a little bit wider, because it is a small little spot, and at a 0.4 millimeter nozzle, as we have over here, that's problematic because a 0.4 millimeter nozzle is not capable of doing these little spots like this, because if the nozzle was 0.2, it would be better chance of it developing these little notches. At 0.4, it puts a little drop right there, and then you hope that when it comes back, it puts another little drop right there. It's going to stick and start to grow from there. It's challenging. Same within the neck. The neck itself is better because it's a much bigger support. But what happens is if this little spot here doesn't grow or doesn't build properly, then right here where it starts to make the ball will fail. Okay, so as it starts to make the ball, there you see it makes the connection. That's the only place right there where it could fail inside the model itself. So watch that right there as it comes up. If that little spot doesn't build well, then this little ball won't build well, and then the filament will just be dropped in this location with nothing to stick to. It'll literally just drop it in this little hole right here, this cavity. So as it builds, then from then on, it doesn't matter because now the arm is holding the ball in place while it builds from there. So that little support doesn't matter anymore. So right up until from here up to here, that little support has to hold that ball. And the nozzle is actually putting a little bit of pressure on that spot, on this spot, to put filament because it's troweling it down. It's actually pressing filament down on this layer, each layer. So if it's not supported well, it'll fall over. Okay, so that's something to be aware of, and hopefully, it prints well. But that is a problem area. So, like I say, I might go in and change that, make that a little bit bigger so that it works better with the 0.4 millimeter nozzle. And then when it's all printed and said and done, then of course it will be able to be weak enough to snap loose. I mean, because you have to have the arm needs to snap loose away from this support. So it can't be too much bigger, but it might have to be a little bit bigger. Okay, that's it.